Hey everybody, this is your girl Nikki Nicole of Divas of the Roundtable podcast. I'm joined here today with my lovely co-host Spicy Red. Our girl Ladybug has been here for this show. She has something else to do. But on today's show, we have Mr. Marlon Conoway. Marlon Conoway is a Florida native, financial consultant, and realtor with over 15 years experience helping families and business professionals build and protect generational wealth. As a broker associate of Legacy Builder 904 Consulting, he specializes in home ownership, debt elimination, retirement planning, and Medicare solutions. A proud father of three, Marlon blends financial expertise with a passion for empowering clients across 27 states to achieve their dreams and secure their futures. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Mr. 904, Marlon Conoway. Thank you for coming on the show. Sir, we've been trying to get somebody that knows something about finances.
I hope I'll disappoint.
Hey, I know me and you had chatted last year, but you had some other things going on when we were talking about filming that Saturday, so we kind of pushed it away, kind of shopped around trying to find somebody, and then when I made the post, you responded, and here we are.
All right.
And so hopefully we can get some information out there to our public and to people that needs to know how to get their finances in order.
Absolutely.
All right, Spicy.
So what are the four money houses framework for the wealthy?
The four money house of the wealthy is a framework. Some people call it four pillars, but if you study wealthy folks, they put their money in basically four places. It's not as complicated as most of us think, right? We think we got to have all this, right? It's really four areas. Number one, they put a lot of money in insurance, life insurance, because it's, in my opinion, it's one of the best kept secrets and the most inexpensive way to pass down generation from one generation to the next.
Okay.
$50 a month, $75 a month. Everybody can afford it, right? So that's one way. The next is investments. All wealthy people invest money.
Okay.
Right? They invest in stocks, crypto, something, right?
Yeah.
Where they're trying to stay ahead of inflation, where they're trying to take advantage of stuff like compound interest. Right? Anybody can do that, right? If you got a job with a 401k, you're an investor. That makes sense, okay? Home ownership or real estate, right? Wealthy people, if you think about it, they actually play the game of Monopoly, right? Y'all remember Monopoly? The little
Yes.
game, right? What was the objective of the game?
To buy houses and move around the world. Yeah.
So we thought it was a game. Milton Bradley, but it really is a life principle that says, hey, you buy multiple properties. When somebody lands on your property, you charge them what?
Rent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you just rinse and repeat that process. So a lot of wealthy people, if you think about it, they don't just own one house and get satisfied. They keep acquiring.
Yes.
It's residential, commercial, right? Historically, you can look back in time and see hundreds of people in America have gotten their wealth through real estate. All right.
Yes.
The fourth money house is business ownership. All right. And that's one of the principles that we teach to our agency is getting people excited about owning something. Right. Because that's the only way that you're going to build equity. That's the only way that you're going to be able to will or sell. Right. We can't will or sell our job. Right. At the end of the day, it's time for us to retire. We get that gold watch, attaboy, next, right?
Yeah.
And we cannot cash on all that time other than what we put into our pensions or 401k. But with business, you can say, hey, you can see what I was driving up the highway and I'm always not excited, but I always see the Eddie Farrell signs. And now when you look at their signs, you see the next generation of children moving into the law practice now.
Yes.
So you kind of see that generational wealth process getting ready to occur right, in real time.
Yes.
And so that's why business is important, because at the end, when your business days are over, you can either sell a business. A lot of people have created a lot of wealth by building up a business like a Microsoft or Facebook, and then when they get paid, sell it to somebody else, right? Or LinkedIn, or you can bring your children in to run it. So I believe those are the four areas that, we as working individuals need to be focused on when it comes to building a sustainable long-term future.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. When it comes to earning income, is there a formula that a person, when it comes to earning and income, is there a formula that a person needs to have that it relates to their spending and saving patterns? Is there a particular formula that you all use that say, hey, you need to do 80 here, 20 there, 60, 40, 30, 70?
Well, if you talk to anybody who's in budgeting and all that kind of stuff, they normally gonna have like you normally don't see like the 50, 30, 20 rule and all that kind of stuff. I think for most people with inflation, we don't really fit in guidelines anymore. All right. So,
Okay.
but you know, you got to have some type of formula. Now, if you took a brand new person out the nest, like your 19-year-old kid, who mom was used to paying the bills, and now he's going to the workforce, it's easy to start that person on the 50, 30, 20.
Yeah.
Right? But 50% normally will say you want that for housing, roof over your head, utilities, you know, bills, groceries.
Okay.
Right? So if a person makes $5,000 a month bring home, 50% is $2,500.
Yes.
So if you think about it, what we say, utilities, groceries, most people grocery bill $500.
Yes.
So now we're down to $2,000. Take a utility, light bill, cable bill, phone. Now we're down to, you know, $1,700, $1,800 for most people, depending on their income. They make $3-4 grand a month. Sometimes it's hard to find somewhere decent to stay for $900 to $1,000 a month.
Okay.
So I say sometimes those formulas don't really work.
Yeah.
But the framework of the formula is 50% housing, you know, expenses like your utilities, groceries. Your other 30% are going to be stuff like your debt and savings. You know, we all got car note, credit card bills, student loans. That comes out of the other 30%. And then we're saving also part of that 30. Emergency fund, retirement, etc. And the other 20 is going to be wants, wishes, and desires. I want to take a trip.
Okay.
I want to go to Orlando. I want to buy a new, you know, outfit.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to move those percentages around depending on your current budget. All right. You may not have the money to be able to take a cruise, right?
Yes.
Your income ratio is higher than the 30%.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but those are kind of the frameworks that people may have. We kind of work it on an individual basis. When we meet with a client, we'll see where they are. And then one or two things are going to happen. If this is your income, all right, and these are your bills or expenses, if they're touching, we normally call it we're making ends what? Meet. All right?
Yes.
Okay. It's really only two ways to fix it. You can either bring your expenses down, which creates a gap. I call it a quality of life. You can raise your income up, which also creates a gap, or you can do both at the same time.
Okay.
Right? Which is going to often give you the fastest result. Okay?
Yes.
But most people, if you ask them, most people are going to say, hey, I'm going to pay that. Some people tell you, hey, upside down.
Yeah.
They robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Sometimes they ain't got the money, right, to pay Paul either. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the only way you fix it, right, is we sit down and just do an overall financial game plan. And we'll look at stuff like budgeting, income, expenses, where your debt, you know, all those different things, how you're investing, and we'll kind of help them work out a game plan. I don't think it's a one size fits all, pretty much anymore. But you know, most budgetistas or people that do budgeting or you know financial coaching usually gonna have that 50, 30, 20 guideline. You know.
Okay.
So, but if I come to Nikki and she's already blown through that 50, 30, and that 20,
I have.
I'll bring my fingers up like this, right? And we're going to work out a way to make it happen. But that's a great question. Yeah.
So have you found that because of inflation that you are seeing more of those numbers kind of like going?
Heck yeah.
Because of all that, because people's like that's one of the things we talk about at my job. Everybody yells about pay. And they're like, the pay raises aren't keeping up with inflation, you know? So that's a general consensus with the whole country, you feel? Or do you feel like it's certain corporations or lines of work that isn't keeping up? Or is it just overall, none of us is keeping up with the inflation with our pay increases?
Well, it's kind of it's hard to really answer that question. I can only talk for myself and what, you know, I was in Publix yesterday. Right. You know, I'm looking for, you know, coffee cream. I love the coffee. I'm a coffee person, right or wrong. But I mean, you look at, you know, just in a commodity like coffee, you can tell, right, when the prices are shifting. Like, man, when the folks just started costing $8, it used to be $4, right?
Yes.
You know, I went to the doggone gas station the other day. I got a Snicker bar and an icy. Y'all know we rock icy since we were little kids.
Yes.
$6. Like, since when? Right?
Yes.
I got a sub out of Publix a couple weeks ago, and it was just a sandwich. It wasn't a combo, right? No chips, no drink. And the lady was like, $9. I say, for what? She said, a wrap. I say, now I don't have no drink and no chips with this, right? She said, yeah, I know. That's inflation. I notice it.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And so, like you said, your pay is not keeping up. Like if you're getting a 3% pay raise and inflation is 3% that year, you're still making ends meet. You're making more, but your spending power, your purchasing power stays the same because the cost of everything went up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So To answer that question.
Yeah, so the numbers are just like you say, individual based. It's no one size fit all. I totally get it.
What is the difference between active and passive income?
Active income is what you have to go to work to get. You got to clock in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't work, you don't eat. We all heard it before.
Yes.
So active income is normally going to be two categories of people: employees and self-employed.
Okay.
Right. If I'm a school teacher, I got to show up to the school board every day, teach my class to get a paycheck on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a landscape business, I got to get out there, load my truck up, got to go get some gas. I got to wake up early in the morning, go cut grass to get money. That's active income.
Yes.
Passive is usually going to be for business people or investors.
Mm-hmm.
A business person basically means now, instead of being a landscape guy or a solopreneur landscape self-employed person, as I grow in my business, I'm going to start gradually hiring on landscapers, and I'm going to start bringing on more trucks. So now I can send you out on the south side. She goes to the west side. I can send another guy on the north side, a guy in the Ponte Vedra, and I got a dispatcher who's running the whole show. I'm playing golf now.
Yeah.
I have to cut grass for income because I have workers out there cutting the grass. When the money comes in, we all get paid, right? And I have a passive lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. So passive could be either a business, or it could be somebody who's saved and accumulated $2, $3, $4, $5 million in their retirement. They're 65, 70 years old right now, and they just turn the income on. I'm going to draw 6%, draw off my $2 million, right? It's $120,000 a year. I can travel, golf, binge in Jamaica. I don't have to clock in. I don't even have to run a business. I got passive income. Well, it could be off of property. We talk about real estate.
Yeah.
I can have 10 rental houses. 30 years later, they all paid off.
Yeah.
1,500 from this one, 1,200, 2,000, right? And that's passive income, so that's the difference. So eventually over time, you want to be shifting from active to passive. Because as we get older, we get sicker, we get tired, we don't feel like it no more, right? Whatever you're passionate about right now, you might not be passionate about driving trucks at 70.
Yeah.
Right. Or they might take your license, right?
Yeah. For real.
So you gotta, in my opinion, you want to start transitioning, when we were talking about that 50, 30, 20, putting things to the side so you can gradually shift yourself from having to go to work hard for money to eventually having the money working hard for you.
Amen. Yes. So let me ask you this. How important is it for families to have a plan B just in case something happens with their main source of income? Like, how important is it for them to have that second?
So you said they got plan A income, right?
Yes.
I'm a school teacher. I'm saying plan B. I think you need to have a plan A and a plan A, right? Okay.
Okay.
A plan B, normally most people look at it as a fallback.
Yeah.
At least I have something to fall back on. Well, if you in your mind is a plan B, you're not going to work as hard as your plan A. Matter of fact, when you don't feel like it, you're not going to work the plan B.
Okay.
Right?
Only when necessary.
Yeah, I do it just on the side, side hustle. That's what we call it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a saying. I say, you got to work that plan B, side hustle, whatever you call it, right? Everybody calls them different. You got to work that as though your life depends on it. Because one day it might. Right?
Yes.
But what's going on in the world right now, especially with the technology shifting and the AI, you're going to see a wave of people who have jobs now. They may not have a job a year from now.
Okay.
Right. So you want to be working that side hustle, that plan B, as if though I'm losing my job next month.
Okay.
You got to prepare yourself. Right. And so I always tell people, listen, your 9 to 5 will pay your bills, but your 5 to 9 gonna get you rich. Right. You want to work them at the same time. All right. Because we talk about inflation. That 5 to 9 is your overflow.
Yes.
That's how you're going to be able to catch up on your retirement, how you're going to be able to travel and pay the bills down faster and move on to the next property and get the business off the ground. Because the 9 to 5 for most people is just covering enough. In worst case, a lot of them are upside down already with the 9 to 5. So you're going to need that plan B to bring in that overflow income that you need to just live life better, just to live more the American dream. And it is also there just in case, I walk in and my box is packed up on my desk. I'm not going in panic mode.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I took the plan B more serious, right? Because your plan A might pay you $6, $7 a month. Your plan B might pay you $1,000.
Okay.
You need to be working that plan B to get you up to replacing that full-time income.
Right.
Right. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It makes a lot of sense.
Explain how you just diversify a person's portfolio.
So diversification is basically just the old adage of not putting all your eggs in one basket. All right. I think as a society, we try to lean to things that we feel are going to get us rich quicker. Right. Like right now, the biggest talk is crypto. Right. I want to put all my stuff. Right. Look, I always have said, don't take your rent money to Vegas.
Yes.
because the odds are you're going to come back without your rent money right or wrong. You might think you hit it big.
I know that's right.
And so everything has risk. So all diversification basically means I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket, right? So you may have some money, some of your income going to your safety net, like your emergency savings. You may have money going to your 401k, some going towards your pension, some going to your Roth IRA, some going to your annuity, some going to the side to start that real estate portfolio, right? Then you may have some sprinkled in the stock trading and crypto, etc. But I would never tell somebody take all your money and dump it in real estate. Take all your money and dump it into, your 401k. Take all your money and dump it into crypto. You want to spread out the risk, and that's all what diversification is really all about is risk management. Because if the real estate market take a crash, if everything was there, I'm screwed.
Yes.
But if it took a hit or a crash, and it was only 15% of my money, I'm still okay.
You're okay.
So,
Yeah.
So
and that's the same thing with crypto or something like that.
Absolutely.
Because I think a lot of people think that with the crypto, because they have it spread out with other companies under the crypto umbrella, that is spread it out. But no, you're still under that crypto umbrella.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's one of the key things that people need to take away from that.
Following people who do that all day long.
Yeah.
You dibbling and dabbling. Right?
Yeah.
So
right.
the results are going to be a little different. When somebody teaches that, use that as their full-time profession, like a day trader, versus somebody who's trading on their phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
In their spare time. So diversification is very, very important. I'm not for or against any particular type of investment. What I tell my clients is don't overexpose yourself to one. Particular one over. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely.
So do you think people should invest regularly, regardless of what the market conditions and what the market is doing? That they still should invest?
Yeah. So you're saying continuous investment, like investing monthly versus lump sum. Yeah, because the rule of investing is to buy low, sell high. Well, if you're at your job all day, you ain't got your phone in your hand, so it's not like you're watching the market, right?
Yeah.
Right. You buy when it's high, and you selling when it's low, right? Right. Or because it's emotional, right? Okay. So I always tell people the best way when it comes to investing is a concept called dollar cost averaging. What that basically means is, everybody heard of the S&P 500. S&P 500, you tracked over the last 30 years, you probably end up somewhere between a 9 or 10% average. Now, that's not a constant 9 or 10. It's not like it did 9, 9, 9, 9 now. 2001 it did 9, 2002 did 9. It doesn't work like that. If 2001 the market was up 20%, then the S&P was down negative 15. Then it was up 10, up 15, up 20, up 3, up down negative 3. What that 9% is an average of all the positives and the negatives averaged out.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. And so if I would have dropped my whole life savings in the market when it was high, and I had that 21%, because it did 21% last year. Let me move my money over there. That was last year. You're looking in the rearview mirror. That's the past.
Okay.
But I'm putting it out there, and then when the market crashes, my 10,000 now 7,000.
Okay.
Now I'm in motion, so I pull out. Does that make sense? And that's how people lose. So my concept is, you could put lump sum in, but also you want to feed it on a consistent basis. It's like if you was raising a farm, you're not going to plant seeds one time, water, and just think nature's going to take its course. You're going to go out there and take care of it on a daily basis.
Right.
As you're going to check on it. So, so you want to contribute. I don't care if it's a $50 a month situation, $100, whatever you can afford to do. You're going to do it consistently every month, no matter what the economy is doing.
Okay.
Because what happens is over time, as you're putting money in, the market changes every day. So some months you may buy shares at a higher price. Some months you're gonna buy a lower price. When the market crashes and you're buying more, that's the time when you really want to buy. It's like having things on sale.
Yes.
And you go to Publix and I go to that coffee house and I see buy one get one. I want that. Hey, what's your brand you like? Whichever one you buy one get one.
Exactly.
Quality.
Yes.
40s or something like that. Off the wall. But that's the same thing. When the market crashes, your $100 a month contributions, instead of buying one share, now bought two.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. Okay. So those are the times when you really should be investing more, not pulling out.
Okay.
That makes sense. And so you just got to be consistent. Say, hey, look, I'm going to the gym regardless if I lost 2 pounds this week, lost no pounds this week, or gained back 2 this week.
Okay.
I just know if I do it consistently over time, something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen.
That makes sense.
Amen. Yes.
And what the difference with the market is you can go back in history and see what's happened through all the ups and downs and the crashes. And you can average out those ranges. And history just tell you, as long as you stayed in over 5, 10, 15, 20 year, 30 year period of time, you was always going to be up. It's just like I tell somebody today, if you buy a house today and you take pretty decent care of that house, I guarantee you 10, 15, 20 years from now, that house will be worth more.
Yes.
Right? That's just what markets do.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why all the wealthy people invest in those
In
markets.
real estate. Yeah.
They just know it's gonna, right? So
Yeah.
if you're the type of person that I'm putting in and taking out,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably gonna lose majority of the time.
Okay.
You just need to invest, stay put, keep money in that 401k, your Roth IRA, whatever it is. You just consistent.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're not looking to cash in anyway until it's time to come off that truck.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I need the money now, because I'm no longer working full time for money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now going to live off that passive income that I created with that $1 million,
Mm-hmm.
off that $200 a month I was consistently doing for the last 30 years, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had $135 on my Robin Hood. We was joking about the Robin Hood. I said, so I lost $10. I wanted to pull my little
Right.
$115.
That's it.
Right.
They give me my $100.
And that's why I should really have coaching and advisory, because
Mhm.
a lot of times my clients know, hey, if I'm not feeling right, or if I hear something on the news I'm concerned,
Yeah.
they know to call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right? And we're going to have that kumbaya moment.
Yeah.
And 9 to my 10, they're normally going to stay put. Let me give you an example. When Trump announced the tariffs, I don't know if that was back in April, somewhere,
Yeah.
right? What happened? Right away, the market tanked.
Yeah.
Yep.
It did.
And a lot of people, what should I do? Man, is this doomsday? Is this the end of it? I said, look, just hold tight.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what happened?
Mm-hmm.
You went back in.
After a while, they put a freeze on the tariffs in the market. And I say, see, you would have
Mm-hmm.
acted emotionally, you would have took a loss. Right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that is important, is making sure that, and that's the danger sometimes, when people kind of have do-it-yourself plans.
Yeah.
In life, if you want to have success, you ain't doing nothing by yourself.
Right.
I don't care if it's your spiritual walk, you have some type of advisor or pastor, whatever your faith is, you got
Mhm.
somebody that you can reach out and talk to. If it's your health life,
Mm-hmm.
you got your doctors and your specialists.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not sitting there on YouTube trying to figure out how to do your own heart surgery, right or wrong.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
If your car red light comes on, I'm pretty sure she might, because she in trucking. I'm not going to get up under the hood and do my self diet. I'm going to go down to the lyrics, right? Okay?
Yes.
And so
You're
so
right.
the same thing as your financial,
Mm.
you want to have some type of financial coach in your life
Mm-hmm.
that can guide you and help navigate you, right,
Okay.
through the ups and downs of life financially.
Gotcha.
I guarantee you go to Palm Beach, 90% of people out there got a financial advisor.
Right.
They're not trying to do it themselves,
Yeah.
right? They look, hey, look, we need somebody to help us grow this money,
Mm-hmm.
preserve this money for the next generation, right? And that's what they pay them people to do, right?
Mhm.
So we also have to have, when I say we, middle America, folks, 9 to 5ers,
Mhm.
we have to, the more technology and the more we can access information,
Mm-hmm.
we get more than to do it ourselves situation.
Yes.
But successful people don't do nothing themselves, right? They hire teams of people that know
Mhm.
more than them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So absolutely.
So do you think that in our culture, that having someone like you, like a financial advisor, that's something that we're lacking as Black folk in this country, especially in our area? Because I had talks with my producer, and I was telling him it was a lot of things that was not passed down from my parents, from their parents to them, and from them to me,
Mhm.
that a lot of Black people just didn't know. And so do you see in your line of work that a lot of us come in uninformed, dealing with stocks and, like just investing, or how to grow money, how to protect their money? Do you find that in our culture that's a
I
lacking
think it's
thing?
more in the class, right? Versus
Okay.
the culture. I think because, my business is kind of diverse when it comes to, culture and race. But I think wealthy and rich, they have the money conversation.
Mhm.
Middle income and poor, I don't think they have the money
They don't
conversation like
have
what
it.
you're talking about,
Mhm.
right? When we were around our grandparents, another grown person in the room, we had to leave.
Yeah.
Grown folks having conversations. You understand? Hey, y'all get out here, go outside, right? Okay.
Mhm.
So we weren't able to pick up on the conversations
Right.
like our kids are. We're a little bit more open, I think. in our
Mhm.
generation.
Yes.
When I'm sitting here talking like this, my son, he hear everything,
He in the
Mhm.
earshot. Yeah.
right?
Correct.
He get too quiet. I got to go. What's he doing? I'm trading options. Like, what's that? Right?
Yeah.
Teach
Right.
me, right? So he picks up on stuff, and they take it to another level,
Mhm.
right? Because we learn what we learn. It's like
Yeah.
you may learn, logistics and transportation,
Mhm.
right? And your kid hear you talking about that, and now they didn't come up with some whole business plan where they got a dispatch service now.
Yes.
Because they hear the conversation,
Mhm.
just their minds take them to a whole different place. But there's so many things that's out there, so many things that can be done.
Mm.
But I think we do have to have those important conversations with our children early.
Right.
And that's even if it's just knowing what stuff is at.
Mhm.
You got to look at this, over $8 billion of unclaimed life insurance money. probably about just as much as the same when it comes to retirement for us. So and so passed away. Family don't even know who the agent is, what the policy at. Did mama have a 401k? What did she have any other money spread out? We don't really know. We never talked about it.
Right.
Right. And the companies ain't coming looking for you.
Right.
They don't look for it. Right and wrong. Okay.
Right.
And so we have to have those conversations, because what happens is a lot of times we lose the potential wealth because of lack of conversation. Or the house, big mama passed away, and now the house goes in probate. Right. Because we didn't have our stuff together prior to. Right.
Right.
So yeah, it's very important. We got to have those conversations for sure.
Right.
How often should people reevaluate their spending, reevaluate their spending, saving habits to spot potential leaks?
Well, with stuff like hackers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can have potential leaks on a monthly basis, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you click on the website, man, you need to be checking. I try to make a habit of checking my especially like stuff with your bank accounts, right? Looking at things like auto drafts, right? Things that we're not using. Oh man, I didn't know that was still drafting. Let me cancel that service or whatever. Okay. So that's one thing that you can do to start looking at money that's being wasted, because a lot of things is subscription now.
Yeah.
Right. And you ain't watched Hulu in how many months, and that's still drafting whatever it costs, $20 a month coming out. That's $20 I can save.
Yeah.
And so the first thing I would say is check all your bank accounts, make sure you're not spending on things that you're not using. Right. That's money that you could free up. So the person saying, man, I can't afford to do this. Well, you just found $100 just by going to your bank account and canceling subscriptions that don't need to be there. Right.
Right.
And then you need to look at stuff that you didn't authorize. Right. Lowe's, $500. I ain't been to Lowe's in 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Somebody got you, right?
Yeah,
okay.
right.
And so that's another thing that you can check. And those things that I look for often as well, whether it's your bank account, your credit cards, anything that you're making transactions with, you want to spot those things all the time. If you have job changes or pay situations, maybe you used to get overtime consistently all the time, now you don't get no more. So now it's time to reevaluate the budget.
Yes.
Okay. And I always just say treat like a doctor's appointment. It's different for everybody. Right? You may only go to the doctor once a year for an annual checkup. I might go to the doctor once a quarter. I got to see my primary in January, my cardiologist in February.
Yeah.
It's more frequent for me. So it just depends on the person. And then I always tell them too, once you're in your groove, then they say, well, how often should I meet with you? It just depends. If you feel something in your spirit, something's not right, give me a call. Right? It could be your budget's okay, but maybe you heard a news blast that, hey, we finna go to Russia. And you just got a question, well, how could this impact my retirement? Right? So if you have things that you're constantly hearing, right, and the news is very good at it, hey, this might be the worst situation is the Great Depression. They always say that, right or wrong, okay?
Yeah.
So you hear that over and over. Of course, that's going to cause some type of anxiety. Maybe when you sit down and reevaluate our portfolios and see how we maybe need to shift some things around because of the what if that could possibly happen. It's just being proactive.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right. So listen, before we get out of here, I want to give you an opportunity to speak directly to our audience. Let them know what you have here. I see you brought you some books.
We just give y'all. Right?
Okay. Let them know what you got going on and how they can reach you, so that if they're interested in getting some financial planning advice, that they can reach out to you. Let the people know what.
Which camera we in? The middle? That one. Okay, the Canon. All right. And hey, well, I appreciate you guys tuning in today. You can reach me on Instagram. The Instagram business page is Team TEAM, like football team Legacy LEGACY Team Legacy Builder BUILDER Team Legacy Builder. That's on Instagram. On Facebook, Marlon Conoway MARLON, not IN like the fish, MARLON CONAWAY on Facebook. Okay. For tuning in today, if you hit me on Instagram or Facebook and just put Diva Giveaway.
Okay.
Diva Giveaway. Okay. I bought them hard copies. All right.
All right.
These are just, I bought the complete guide to buying a home. And also I bought them the How to Sell Your Home Fast. She already has a home, but guess what? Game of Monopoly. You might get another one. Okay. But these are just something to remember at this meeting.
Okay.
Okay. But for anybody who reaches out through Instagram, Facebook, also have digital versions, right, as a free giveaway. I also have a budget planning tool as a free giveaway, and also just an overall financial literacy ebook as a giveaway as well for people that may want to learn more about the concepts that we talked about today, like dollar cost averaging, diversification, all those different things.
Okay.
And also you can, if you want to schedule a time to meet one-on-one, to discuss any of the 4 money houses of the wealthy or to implement certain things, or maybe just for a financial review, right?
Mhm.
I'll also supply my calendar link. We can book some time, and it's totally complimentary for the team
Right.
that's logging in today. And I definitely appreciate you guys for checking it out and rocking with us today.
All right. So there you have it, you guys. That's Mr. Marlon Conoway. Like he said, he's gonna put we're gonna put the links up to where you can be able to download your digital books and all of the digital things that can help you with your finances. If you all have any financial questions, please reach out to Marlon, MarlonConaway on Facebook. Marlon Conoway, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today, sir. Full of information. We really appreciate you.
All right, what's for lunch? What we eat?
All right. Y'all be blessed. Have a good night.
All right.